What's up, everybody? Welcome to A Flair for Toys. Now, we didn't do a poll this week. I didn't think there was no need, no poll. I think I pretty much knew. I could feel the room. I could feel the temperature in the air. And what we all needed to talk about. And what we need to talk about, everybody knows, is you can't see me. Mr. John Cena. So, we're going to come in here. If you want to join me, you can join me live. Put your questions in the box. Give me your opinion. Let me know what you think. But we're going to kick this off. Yes, John Cena shocked the world and turned heel. And you know what? It was about God time. You know, and we'll get into it. I'll talk more. There's three ways everybody's going about it. Either people are mad about it, they're happy about it, or the only third thing really is he should have done this earlier. And in a way, I agree. I think it would have been a good time when he was getting more boos than cheers if he would have turned heel then. But it kind of makes more sense now when you have more people on your side, even though he's got not much time left, whatever. You know, Father Time is setting in, but let him go ahead. And to set the record straight for all those people out there that say John Cena was never a heel, yes, he was. So, don't believe everything you see on the internet, you know. Uh, I had people argue with me, no, he was never a heel. Yes, he was. Yeah, well, I think that's what you get. Okay, I'll let you know because sometimes y'all don't get to see the comments when this reposts. The question is, what do you think about Travis hurting Cody? Well, I think that's what you get when you get non-trained professionals involved in the wrestling business. Not saying that trained professionals can't get hurt as well, but in my eyes, didn't really have no business being in there. If he want to come out and smoke his little sage or whatever and flush it around, it's all good. Have him sit in the corner, rap a few funny lyrics or something, but don't need to be putting your hands on Cody. But, that's what they agreed to do. That's what they did. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. For some reason, they wanted him in there. I don't know. Hey, I mean, we've had a lot of celebrities in there before that sometimes we didn't think they belonged. I mean, we had Karl Malone and Dennis Rodman before. I mean, we had David Arquette have a championship. So, this is the way of the world now. We end up with Bad Bunny and Travis Scott and what's that? Johnny Knoxville and all this kind of stuff in there. But hey, it is what it is. We've had Pete Rose in there before. So, it is what it is. Take it with a grain of salt. Take it or leave it. That's what I say. But let's get into the meat of the matter. I'm going to give you my opinion. And my opinion to me is the only thing that matters. Now, maybe not you, but me. No, I do care about your opinion. I want to know what you guys think. I think it's good. I think we needed it. I actually thought Cody was going to turn heel, but this was even better. I still think Cody will turn heel, but I think it'll be a little ways down the road now. So I think this is a way to hold off from Cody having to turn heel. I think it's really cool. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he will. We'll probably get some 6-man match, with The Rock, John Cena, and Travis Scott versus Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and Bad Bunny or something. I don't know. But anyway, but back to the topic. I don't know how long we'll go, guys. 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever. Wooty woo. But make sure you get your questions in to me, your opinions. But I think I enjoy it. I like it. I want to see where they go from here. I want to see how they can keep it up. And I want to see how Cena plays the role of a heel now. I know he's done it before, but it's been a long time. So I want to see what he does. But I'm sure he can handle it. And yes, this was shades of Hogan turning heel. I don't think it's as big a moment as that Now, it could have been if this happened 4 or 5 years ago. Uh, okay, it's gonna happen. It's just gonna be pushed back a little longer now. But but I think Cody will turn heel eventually, but not now. And I'm sure Cena's gonna go back. He'll probably end up turning on the Rock, and he'll go back face right before he ends it or whatever. But I think it's a good I think it's a good mix up. It's a good change of pace. It's always good to have a little something to change up. We've been so focused on all this bloodline stuff. So now, even though Rock is still part of that, but it kind of get away from that. Uh, we need more storytelling. Plus, this just makes Rock even bigger heel as well. Maybe you can get Punk and Rock down the road or something. Uh, there's a lot of places they could go. I think it freshened it up a little bit. Even though it's with an older guy, it still freshened it up. Uh, I heard they was shaving his hair. Well, they need to. They need to get rid of that bald spot on the back. But a lot of times, and I wish AEW had something that they could do more like this that would make a headline, make a splash. But I don't know if there's anybody over there that could turn heel. Hell, you don't even know who the heels are most of the time. But it's good for a shakeup. Now, like I said, Cena's not going to be around much longer. This is supposed to be his last year. Now, does this mean maybe it continues a little more? And I think maybe it could, depending on how this heel turn goes. If they put like a stable around them and brought some other people in where him and The Rock didn't really have to do much but basically be the mouthpieces, I think you could get something out of it. Maybe you bring in some new guys. I'm not saying just bring in Rock's family, even though that's probably what it'll be. Uh, well, let's put Refrigerator Jackson here, or But if they took some newer guys and brought them up, say they brought in a Logan Paul. Oh my God, could you imagine the heat on that? Man, you get a faction with heel Rock, heel Cena, and Logan freaking Paul. Man, go ahead and bring in Dom from the Judgment Day. Man, boy, them people would be booed. They would be booing more than they did Hogan. You know what I mean? So, make sure we're liking the live, guys, sharing the live out. We'll keep this thing rolling. What's going on, man? How's everybody doing? Thank y'all for coming in. I'm interested in that box Chad Gable has. I don't know. I don't really keep up with the whole Wyatt Six thing. I wasn't a big fan of that. I understand why they wanted to do this gimmick in honor of Bray Wyatt. I'm all for honoring people. I think it's great. But I don't think it brings anything but Bray Wyatt's stock down. I don't think it brings it up any.
If I could tell you something real quick.
Oh.
No, that's about it. Remind me to tell you about the Cowboys.
Okay, Mama. So the only way I think, and I still don't even think then, that the Wyatt Six works if they just let Alexa Bliss take over the thing. A lot of people like Alexa Bliss, and I think it could work there. No offense to Bo Leave Dallas, but nobody Bo Leaves in him. A mid-Carter running a group just is not what gets it done. But, man, I would love it. I would love it. I would really like to see them use the NWO gimmick. Can you imagine? I told somebody this today. If they took John Cena's music that he usually comes out to and blended it with the NWO music, man, that's a banger right there. I mean, yeah, man, it would be good. It would be good. And you could, you could even do the deal like when they were talking about maybe McIntyre, Owens, and Rollins, bringing some of them in, which I wouldn't really bring in Rollins. I think he kind of just brings any group he's in down, to be honest. I don't know. Maybe the dude could do some acting in Hollywood or something, but he's just too corny to me. The only time Seth Rollins is good is when it's against like a Punk or something because he's actually being serious and he actually means it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. I don't. I mean, that's fine if you do. You follow the mid carders and that lucha stuff. I don't really pay it much attention. It's kind of just like fodder to me. You know, it's kind of like when I get some of these figures that are broke. I just use it to piece stuff together. So I don't know. There's nothing in there that really catches my eye. You know, Supposedly Gable's gonna go learn to be a luchador because he can't beat him. What are we doing? What is this? Did did they bring AEW storytelling over here? Cause man, I wouldn't have went that route with it. Penta's got a good following. There's a lot of guys, and there's a bunch of guys in this group right now that like Penta. I think they could be doing it a little bit better. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. And I understand working him up slow, but I think you've I think you've already gave him too many matches against a couple of the same people that I don't know. I just think it could be done a little better myself. You can tell me if I'm wrong or right, which I know I'm wrong, but uh but I hope Ray Phoenix comes in. I want them to be a tag team. I think it'll get over more. I don't really necessarily see Ray Phoenix as a singles competitor. I'm not saying he can't do it, but I don't know. It's just hard to see them not together in my book. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But I'm really interested to see how they do this. How many shows is Dwayne gonna be there? They I know Travis, which I unfortunately we're probably gonna see more Travis Scott, but it is what it is. But I just don't know with all these different dates and stuff that these guys have how it's going to really work. That's why I say they need to bring more people in there and at least one person that's good on the mic to be able to handle this. And I actually think McIntyre would be, except they're kind of letting him get beat a little too much here lately. I don't like that. He shouldn't be losing that much. But McIntyre has gotten way better on the mic since he got involved with Punk. I don't know if Punk took him in the bag. Now, I'm just saying this. It may not have nothing to do with it. But something changed in McIntyre, and he has gotten way better as far as being able to talk on the mic. So whoever it did, whether it was him, whether somebody helping him, kudos to that. Uh, yeah, and that's good. But, I mean, we're probably not going to see him, but maybe on Raw or a SmackDown like before a next event. What is the next event anyway? Is WrestleMania next? We don't have nothing before WrestleMania, right? I don't think so. So, they'll probably go strong with it until Mania. But then I guess it all depends what happens at Mania. That's the only thing I worry about this thing with those guys having all these other commitments outside, how well you can really make it work. So you need one or two core guys that could like run this faction and basically be the mouthpiece for them when they're not there. You know what I mean? Because if say Rock and Cena both not there, is Travis Scott gonna be there? We're not gonna care what he has to say. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see how they go with it. That's the only thing that really puzzles me about it the most is how you're gonna do that with these other stars and their commitments. But Cena turning heel, I think it's great. Could it have worked years ago? Yes. But like I said, they could have done it when he was getting booed a lot. But I don't know if it would have had the same effect as it did now because everybody was buying into believing in Cena and one last time and Cena's going to win the champ. Man, I don't know how many people I've seen grown men crying. I've seen kids crying. I've seen kids throwing their toys down the stairs and all this other stuff. You know, John Cena, you know, he turned his back on. It's like, come on, man. It's entertainment. It's a television show, bro. You know, but I think we've all done this at a point, and which is good because this is how much wrestling gets us and how much we get involved into it, that we put that much stock in it that we get mad, we get angry, we get happy, we go yeeting everywhere, or we're in the back crying or whatever, got our head down because we get caught up into it. We get involved with it. We get linked to it. Only one time I could remember I really got that linked into wrestling. I've liked stuff, hated stuff, whoop-de-woo, whatever. Wish they wouldn't have made this creative move. Wish he wouldn't have done that. But I'll give you a real quick for anybody in who chats who can answer this. But there was one time in wrestling history where I was so mad when I left from watching the pay-per-view. I was at my cousin's house. I was mad. I was ready to fight. Anybody could have just said what's up to me, and I was ready to square up. And I'll give you a couple minutes to see and put some guesses in here if you can think of what time that was before I tell you. And I'll give you a little bit of a clue. It was in WCW. WCW. But y'all think about it. Put your guesses in there. The one time that Beef was so mad at wrestling, he was ready to get it on. I don't remember what year, but just maybe the person that are involved in it. Nope, wasn't Goldberg. Yeah, I didn't like that either, but that wasn't it. I'll let you know another little clue. It had something to do with my favorite wrestler of all time. I really wanted this guy to be there and be on the team, and he turned his back, which you could kind of see it leading up to that, and I just didn't want it to go that way. But yeah, it involves Ric Flair, and it was in War Games when Kurt Hennig was supposed to took my spot, not my dog spot, not liver spot, but my spot, and he turned his back on the Horseman and went NWO. Boy, I was so mad. If it had been my TV, I'd have probably broke it. It was like in watching the Cowboys lose in the playoffs. You know what I mean? I was madder than hell. But, we get invested in it. Some may not. And the ones who don't, to me, you're not a true wrestling fan. There's always going to be that one moment that, like my buddy Chewy. My buddy Chewy was messaging me all day yesterday because he didn't know. He hadn't watched it. He didn't know that Cena had turned heel. He was mad. What? Cena turned heel? So we all get invested in stuff, But it's good though. That means they doing their job. You know what I mean? Yeah, he had done it before, and then now he did it and went with the NWO, which they didn't do Mr. Perfect right, man. In the NWO, he should have been better than that. But there's a lot of things where they could have turned. But the whole topic today is Cena turning heel, but people get invested in it, man. I'm just curious to see what the new merch is gonna look like. What they're gonna do, if they are gonna take over this NWO thing. Is it gonna be a different faction? Is it gonna be a different name? What is it all gonna be? But we're going into Mania, guys, and we're going in with the American Nightmare versus Mr. UK See Me. But I guess we can see him now since he turned heel. No more hustle, loyalty, and respect. That's out the window. So we'll see what the final boss has in store. Now, we haven't got the final boss figure in yet, but I think I did get an email that it is on the way here, so we will have it shortly. Plus the Great Muta. What else? And the Damian Priest Ultimate. I did get the Hardy Boys in, guys. I got 5 of them in. 2 of them's mine. The 3 The other three, they're already claimed by other people. Y'all know who you are. But they did come through the door today, all five of them. I seen the delivery man dropping it off as I was pulling home. So, and I looked again today, just looking at the Jazzwares vault because I was trying to look for the FTR set of figures, and the Hardy Boys have sold out. So, good job we picked those up because unless you want to pay scalper eBay prices, don't look like you're getting any more of them. I think it was supposed to have been what, 1 of 3,000 or something like that. So did say they were sold out. Yeah, I'm just curious to see what they do. Yeah, you should get it tomorrow. I think Zay got his today, and then I got mine in today as well. I thought I would have more showing up today because I seen quite a few emails coming through that this was coming and this was coming, but that's all we got was the Hardys, but we got those in, so that's a good thing. I'm probably only going to go about another 10 minutes, so if you got any questions here, we'll talk about it. I do want to just touch base, not just on the whole Cena thing, but jump back. I thought the whole pay-per-view of the Elimination Chamber was really well done. I give it an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it better than the Royal Rumble. The only match I really didn't care for was the tag team match. Nia Jax, Candice LaRue, and I almost said Liv Morgan, but Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus. You know, I think that they thought Trish was going to get a bigger pop since it was her hometown, whatever. Didn't really hear the pop for that. So, you know, I don't know how well that worked. Here's one thing I just say. I think WWE's doing a decent job with most of their booking, but we need to quit putting these get up and go to the bathroom matches on these pay-per-views because lately you're only giving us 4 matches because of the length of the matches with the Chamber and the Rumble. And then we're having to sit through that tag team match or a best out of 3 falls between DIY and Motor City Madness or whatever the hell they are. I don't need to see all that, bro. I mean, you gotta find some better things to pump up the crowd and get things going, you know. And unless you are trying to give them a break, let them get up and go stretch their feet, you know, go to the restroom, all that kind of stuff. But those matches are falling flat. The Sami Zayn Kevin Owens match was good, even though I'm not a big fan of either one. But those guys, they always put on a show. They're always going to put their bodies at risk. That's just the kind of guys that they are. They love doing that kind of stuff. But a good match. Randy Orton's back. So it looks like we're going to lead into Kevin Owens, Randy Orton. So now I don't know where. I guess maybe that's why this injury angle's up. So maybe Sammy's not on WrestleMania. Maybe that's the deal because I don't know where they would go with matching him up with somebody. Not to me that everybody has to be on the card, but since they make it a 6-night event nowadays, no, it's really a 2-day event, but it feels like 6 days. 2 days of that much wrestling even wears me down, guys. So, hey, Running Lights, welcome in. But yeah, man, just please stop with these tag team matches that nobody wants to see. I've always been a tag team guy, but you know, I would have rather seen the street party against somebody else or something, against the War Raiders or War Machine, not the Motor City Machines, but the other one, something like that. If we had to have a tag team match before the titles or something, I don't know, but. If you're gonna do that, you need to place it a little better. I'll take it back for everybody that came and did the watch along with me last night. We got to the end of the first ever Royal Rumble, and the last match on the card was the Islanders against the Young Stallions, and we were wore out, and we were like, okay, we fast forwarded to see who won, and we're done. You know that's how I feel about those other matches, but. They put those matches in the middle of the card, and you're kind of just stuck there. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I understand I guess in a way what Triple H is trying to do, but I would just book a little bit better. But maybe it's one of those things where I gave you all this so I can give you this little that's not as good. Uh, I'm from Texas, man. I'm from Texas. If you can't tell by the accent, which most people think I'm from Louisiana or something, but the doctor of thugonomics is back, yes sir. And I hope he keeps that kind of persona, man, and goes out there and just raps and just drills these people's butts with the lyrics. It's a whole different change up. I like it. I like it. I'm curious and interested at the same time to see how we go forward with this. So should be a real good, interesting watch. There's nothing before Mania, right? Mania is the next one. We don't have any other premium live events before that. I don't think so. Yeah, and I think most of us feel that way, but hey, it's like I said, Dennis Rodman, bunch of other people like that have been in the mix, so, you know, I guess that's today's people stuff, even though some of us old hands uh, don't really know. I didn't even know who he was, I've heard the name a couple times, but it's all good, you know. Next stop, Las Vegas. Okay, okay, we're on the right track. We're on the road to WrestleMania. Can't wait to get the next translucent John Cena that's coming out. But I got the old basic right here, keeping this placeholder until we get there. Um, but that's really all I got. If y'all got any questions about the whole Cena turn thing, any way you think it might go, but other than that, that's about all I really got right now. I just knew that was a really good topic on everybody's mind at the moment. Julio. Well, everybody knows or should know my favorite wrestler of all time is the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Once you get past that, it goes like Stone Cold, Bret Hart, The Rock. I like all those guys right there. Always like people that could be good on the mic and in the ring. If you're just good in the ring, I mean, sometimes you can get by with being good in the ring and it's okay. Hey, Triple H is good too. I mean, if I went down my list, he'd be somewhere in that top 10 because he could work, he could talk. And I think Triple H doesn't get his just due because of who he married to. You know, if he would have got all, which I don't know if he would have got all he got if he wasn't, but he made the best of it. I mean, he really worked his butt off. Even if some of it was handed to him, he still deserved it from the work he put into it. This wasn't like no Eric Watts or a David Flair that couldn't hold a candle to their daddy's butt. You know what I mean? So Triple H did really good. Yes, I do. I have the big gold belt. I had it signed by Ric Flair, Bret Hart, one of the incarnations of the Horsemen, Ron Simmons, Lex Luger, Jerry Lawler, a bunch of people. And then I have the $1 Million Man belt with Ted DiBiase's autograph on it as well. I'd have to say Kane just because of longevity. But I do think that Shamrock was underrated. I think there is a time, if you go back to the Attitude Era, that they could have put that belt on Shamrock for a month to 3 months and could have been really good. I think Shamrock got overlooked for that spot just because they knew he wasn't going to be around that long. And plus, I think they really didn't think they could control him. If they told him he had to drop the belt and he didn't want to, I don't know if they wanted that trouble, you know. I mean, he's better MMA, but not veteran wrestling. He wasn't there that long. Kane was there 20 years, bruh. So I mean, I don't see how you can compare somebody's career who was there for a split second to somebody who was there for 20 years. And to me, Dan Severn could work in like an NWA or something, but he didn't have the mic skills or the charisma to really be in WWE. 18 years. However, man, I mean, but you got to give Kane his props, though. Look, whose gimmick would you rather have? Shamrock's gimmick, that you're a real true badass, or Kane's, that you're a dead man's brother, and you're supposed to be mangled all under this mask and everything. You got to give Kane his props for being able to get that character over. Same as The Undertaker. I think any other person takes those characters over, it does not get over. It'll be over very shortly. But to take that and be able to change the way they did over the years just enough to keep the characters interesting, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I mean, Kane went through being the Christmas creature, Isaiah Yankum. He was the fake Diesel. And then he finally got into a character that he was like, hey, I'm going to make this thing work because who knows what else gimmick they're going to stick me in. You know what I mean? By God, through hellfire and brimstone. And that's one thing. Just think of this, guys. I thought of this when the whole Cena turn went on. What if JR would have been there commentating? Oh, my God. It would have been so great. That son of a bitch. That son of a bitch, John Cena. You done sold your soul to the devil. God damn, my God. Sassafras. God damn, you son of a bitch. I mean, just think of how great that would have been with JR there, boy. He would have gave out his whole recipes. He'd have been so mad. John Cena turned heel. Can you give me a Kane action figure? Well, I don't know why I would just really give you something, but you can always make sure you follow and subscribing. We do have giveaways from time to time. And just so happens, I actually do have an extra Kane figure that will probably go in one of the giveaways. So, but that's about all I can do for you. You know, I'm not John Cena. I don't make wishes. You know what I mean? I may make dreams, but I don't make wishes. Dub won the last one. He got the Scott Hall's already been sent out. Should be heading his way. But what I am speaking of is this Monday Night Wars Kane. It's Kane through hellfire and brimstone. But yeah, guys, man, just keep staying tuned, man. Make sure you turn on subscriptions. Follow me on all the other apps. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. All that good stuff. I think we're going to jump over for TikTok for a few minutes. But I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. We've already went a little over 30 minutes. When I reach milestones, so I just reached over 500 subscribers over here. So I just did a giveaway. Once we hit 1,000, I'll do another giveaway. On my TikTok, once we reach 15,000 followers, I hit a giveaway. 150,000 likes, which is really coming up close. We'll do a giveaway on there. And then the Clapper app, we're on the Clapper as well. When we get to 1,000, which we're about 300 away from that, we'll do a giveaway there. So, but anyway, guys, man, thank you everybody for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed this episode. John Cena turned heel. I'll come back next week with something else. I'll try to get a poll together. If not, I'll just go with what the topic is that's hot, and we'll talk about it. Now, make sure if you just jumped in, you didn't get to see this whole episode, give it 12 hours. It will load, and you can watch it right here on the YouTube anytime, any channel you want. Until then, we the ones, and I may be leaving, and I'm still that uncultured heathen.